This is Steve Schiffman. I want to thank you for joining me today in this very interesting podcast, webcast. We try each day to give you something that you can really use. This is for salespeople and the managers who work with them. It's not some fluff that I'm going to give you today where you're going to say, yeah, that's interesting, but it doesn't work for me. That I don't do. And of course, what you can see today is the sun coming in. That's what's going on here. And the reason is we're close to the fall. So for practical purposes, many of you are done for the year. So I just want you to think about that for a second. That's a little scary thought. You're done for the year. A couple of things I want to point out to you. First of all, the key word today is pencil. Now, I have to choose that because there's a pencil on my desk and I write with pencils. So the key word is pencil. You write me an email, sschiffman@steveschiffman.com. Go to the website, however you want to do it. You find me and say pencil. You got a chance to win a book. Big bang. I may send it to you by electronic mail because it's easier, or I may mail it depending upon your location. I had somebody the other day in Australia, and I had somebody in, I want to say Nicaragua. I had to send it by electronic mail. Not my favorite thing, but I want to do it that way. All right. I want to talk to you about something that I think is very important. And I've had a number of conversations today with different coaching clients. And remember, I coach people in how to increase their sales. I typically get a 22% increase in sales. But this particular person said to me, Steve, I'm not prospecting. I can't get into it. I'm getting business, but I'm not prospecting. Now, I'm going to tell you something that I think is crucial. What is the single most important tool that you use? Now, I've given you business cards, and I've told you about your pen. It's your book. It's your book. It's what you write down. Now, it could be an Outlook, it could be CRM, doesn't matter to me. I like a book. I like paper. I like to see it. But the reality is, this is what I know. I was a doctor this week. I felt okay, but I was a doctor this week. And he happens to be an orthopedic guy. And I said to him, listen, just out of curiosity, how many patients, I was kind of curious, how many patients do you see each day? Oh, a lot. Doesn't mean anything to me. I said, how many? They showed me, pulled up the screen, 30 patients that day. And the following day, maybe a little less towards the end of the week. I said, you see 30 people a day? Yeah, 20 minutes of that, he does. Now, when I left, I started thinking about it more. And I said, well, let's suggest now, let's just think. Suppose he's making just $200 a patient. Suppose he's making $300 a patient. And suppose during the course of the year, he sees 3,000 people. Is that possible? 300 people. You could quickly figure out what he's making. Doesn't take much. You just simply go, oh, this times this equals this. You can tell it. I used to go to a dentist in New York, and you could see in those days, the appointment book was written out by the receptionist. She'd write it out. You could predict by the day how much he was making because each person paid pretty much the same. I mean, you didn't have somebody come in and pay $5. So you can figure out the income, the dentist, the doctor, masseuse, you pick it. You pick people that service people, and you can figure out real fast how much money they're making each week and average it out. You can figure out their income. Average that out, you can figure out their taxes. You can play with this all day, but that's not the point. The point is you can do that too, or not. Suppose you only have one appointment this week. What's the odds of one appointment closing? Probably not very strong. If you had two, you've got a better chance. You have three, that's even better. You got four, that's even better. Five, that's even better. 10, that's even better. In other words, the more appointments you have in any given week, the more chance you have to close. But you have to know that. I mean, you have to know what the value of each close is to you. If you don't do that or know that, then there's no way you can keep your excitement and your enthusiasm up. Just not going to happen. I want you to figure out what every single appointment is worth to you. Now, I go even further if I were you, and I've done this. How much is every hour worth to you? Every hour, every day. 7 days a week, 24 hours a day. What's it worth? You'll be surprised, not a lot. But multiply it and it becomes a lot. So I want you to give some thought to that. You know, this little webcast that we do each day or so, I have a number in my mind as to what I want to charge for this. And I got to tell you, it's so damn low that when I thought about it, I said, that's ridiculous. That's like giving it away. But I'm thinking about it. If I got 10 people, 20 people, 30 people, 1,000 people paying me this ridiculously low fee, I'd make a lot of money. You don't have to do it, but I'd make a lot of money. I ask you to do it, but you make a lot of money. So the little things add up, but you have to know how many of those you really have. I talked to a client today that I'm going to do work with on site next week. And I said to one of the reps, I said, well, or BDMs, as they like to be called. I said, well, how many active, live, functioning prospects, that is, they're not in the sales process yet, or very far, do you have? Oh, she said to me, I've got 30. So really? Name the top one. And she named the company. How long ago did you see them? Did you talk to them? Oh, 6 months. 6 months. Ah, kind of interesting. And the second one, about the same time, 6 months. They're really combined. I said, what about the third one? Well, you got to understand, my business is different than your business, which I always love. Tell me that. Yet they're in the training business. So when did you see that guy? About 7 months. I said to her, you have nothing. You have no appointments. New. Now, if you're counting on these people to buy, but they haven't called you in 6, 7, 8, 9 months, there's a message there. And the message is, I don't want to buy. What a surprise. The average person that you deal with actually doesn't do anything. Now, you know that your number one competitor is the status quo. You know that already. We've talked about that. But that means that most people do nothing. And the reason they do nothing is because they are already doing something. That's the key. You have to figure out what it is they're doing and just ask the question, and why they're doing it, and how they do it, and when they do it, and where they do it, and who they do it with. And then you've got to be able to say, I can help you do it better. Because if you can't say that, there's no sale. There never will be a sale. That's why sales don't happen, because you don't really help them do it better. You don't explain it. So they don't buy. Remember the pencil. Write to me, Steve Schiffman, sschiffman@steveschiffman.com. Go to the website, look at the books, look at all the stuff we do. We do corporate training. You got to get involved in that if you haven't. If I haven't been to your place, you got to find out why not. If you don't know the answer, go find out. Go to somebody. How come you haven't worked this guy Schiffman in? If you like what I'm doing. If you don't like it, don't do anything. Go to Gittemeyer, but don't go to me. You think Jeffrey's good? Hey, go. You know, I've worked with them all. Remember that. Pencil, that's your key word. Pencil. That's what we're writing this week. Pencil. You write pencil, you got a chance to win a book. And the book that I'm giving out is The Big Bang. Now, I have some other books I might give, we'll see. And if you need personal coaching, you call me, because I give you the best deal. Not that I'm cheap, and I'm not going to tell you I give you great service because that's what everybody says. I'm going to tell you I just do a hell of a job. I can increase your sales by 22% if you follow what I want you to do. So, as we start to think about the phone, this is Steve Schiffman. I want to thank you for joining me today. And the phone call. And you'll humble me by your presence.